The Brady Bunch family grows as more states adopt LWA. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is LLA with Afternoons LLA, our 2-hour programming block that starts every day with the check, then goes hazard pay, then then FPUC and LWA now, and finally rent assistance. Great news as more people, more states joined the Brady Bunch growing family of LWA approved states. What the hell is LWA? Hey, and what happened to FPUC? As if it was not confusing enough, after several months of me trying to inform and educate viewers as to what FPUC was, that's $600 a week that goes on top of your UI, unemployment benefits, or PUA, pandemic unemployment assistance. Once I got them to understand what PUA was and FPUC was, now there was a new word. LWA. LWA is essentially the replacement for FPUC for the short period of time. LWA is lost wage assessments that was memorialized and created by decree of the president over 2 weeks ago by executive order. It was intended to provide you some type of enhanced economic unemployment benefits after the expiration of FPUC. Let me explain to you where we are and what's going forward, because I know this is a little bit confusing. If you were impacted by COVID-19 and you're on UI or you're on PUA or you're getting on UI or you're getting on PUA, you have to certify for benefits for the number of weeks that you work. And those weeks can be anywhere from July anyway from March all the way up to July. That was the initial term. Those weeks would give you FPUC on top of your UI or PUA weekly benefits. So if your weekly benefits are $67, or in California like $167 is your base level weekly benefits, you would get $600 on top of that. So you would get $700 per week for every week that you were impacted by COVID-19 from March to July. That's still the case. So if you're still certifying for weeks of benefits from March to late July, you're still eligible for that amount of money. That money from the $600 of FPUC was funded by Act of Congress, created in the CARES Act, the first stimulus package, and it's underwritten by the IRS, the Treasury. They actually send the money to the state, who sends the money to you. There's no way to the money to run out because they print money. Isn't that the most wonderful thing, printing your own money? They just, press print and, maybe they put their face on the printer and, print out some Mark Manushian pictures now and then. But other than that, they print out money. So they print money, beautiful, beautiful, delicious money, and then they send it out, $600 a week. Well, there was a problem. And the problem was those nincompoops in Congress decided to have FPUC expire while they're on vacation. Because that's generally how you do things in Congress, isn't it? When you need something really important for the American public so that they're not on the street and homeless, you have it expire while we're on vacation so no one can come and knock on your door like, why aren't you doing it? I'm on vacation. Don't come and bother me. Well, that's what they did. They had FPUC expire while they were on vacation. Now, there was no urgency for them. They did not go to call, a special session in place and say, hey, let's get FPUC extended before it expires. No, they didn't do it. Rather, it expired and the president had to step in and do an executive order. And that created where we are today, this document. FEMA announced minutes ago how many states now are approved for $300 a week. Let me get to that before I get to the backstory. They're currently, and I'm updating the story literally every 4 hours, so this is the current update as of today, as of approximately 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. There are currently now 10 states approved for LWA. Those are Arizona, Colorado, Idaho, Iowa, Louisiana, Missouri, Montana, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Utah. What does that mean? That means that these are states that are approved to send out LWA money. How much money? LWA lost wage assessments is $300 a week. How many weeks? 3 weeks. Any more money than that? No. There's at most $900 per individual for if they were impacted for 3 weeks. Could they end up paying you less? Yes. So, FEMA has said that they will send the funds to the states on a first-come, first-served basis. So the earlier states that were approved, like New Mexico, would be first in line, and the later states to be approved, like Idaho, would come later in the food chain. So they're ensuring that at least 3 weeks are going out first, but they're going to send them to the first states first, and the next ones go out. Some viewers have already reported, like in Arizona, that they've actually gotten their first $300 payment. So this is really great news. This is as a result of the executive order by Donald Trump nearly 2 weeks ago that created this emergency relief. It's underwritten by FEMA. Here's the bad news. It's running out. There's not enough money. It's not going to exist past 3 weeks. Here's also the bad news. If you're not in those states, you're not going to get the benefits. Those other states don't want to apply for the benefits. They think it's either unconstitutional, illegal, or they just don't want to be involved with it, or they don't have the capacity to be involved with it. So there are some states beyond these 10 states who have also applied. They're not approved, so don't lose hope, because there are some other states who have applied and are not yet approved. But it's not a lot of states. Would you possibly get more than $300 a week? Yes. So states are allowed to give you an additional $100 on top of it if they happen to have a lot of money sitting around, which they just don't have a lot of money sitting around right now. You wonder why? Yes, states are going bankrupt. They can't meet their budget. Nancy's asking for the states to have more money. Steve Mnuchin says, no, they have a lot of money. They're saying they don't have money. And so now the proposal is, hey, if you want to throw $100 on top of $300, go ahead. You can do it. But that's your discretion. We're not going to order you to do it. So which of them have? Montana apparently has. Montana will pay the extra $100 on top of the normal unemployment benefits and on top of the $300 per week. How long can states pay the $100 supplement? To December. Will they? Unlikely. How long will the $300 last? 3 weeks tops. How about more than $300? This is the realm of hideous confusion, because ultimately there will be a second stimulus package approved, and it won't be at $300. It'll likely be at $400 to $600, and that $400 to $600 will cause an accounting nightmare, because some of the states may have already been paid at $300 $300 a week. So will they pay the remainder as well? The bottom line to understand is there's a lot of strange numbers involved, and no one likes a lot of strange numbers. When you're going to certify for your weekly benefits, if you're on UI or PUA, understand it's going to ask you if you want to have taxes taken out. If you say no, then remember that when you go to do your taxes next year, you need to pay taxes on what you did not take out. UI and PUA is taxable. FPUC is taxable. LWA is taxable. So if you don't want to take it out for taxes, fine. Just remember you did that, but next year you have to pay taxes when you go to your annual tax return. The issue of accounting is also inherently very, very confusing, because now essentially you could have upwards of 3 different types of payment schemes for unemployment benefits in all of a few weeks, because of the continual change of policies by the Republicans and the Democrats. So you have that one period on the CARES Act, which is March to July, $600 under FPUC. Then you have the current one, LWA, 3 weeks at $300. Then you're going to have another period, which is going to be the second stimulus package. But could there be more? Oh my God! They just get the nail in the coffin, just put it in the coffin. I mean, it's just, can't you folks agree upon something and get it done? This channel reported over 2 weeks ago, Nancy and Steve agreed to $400 to $600 a week, $400 to $600 a week for FPUC, but they can't get it done. There have been calls by Democratic representatives in the House here from California who have called upon Nancy, who's also from California, to do a standalone bill just for FPUC. Hasn't happened yet. Nancy Maloney wrote that baloney bill overnight to have an entire relief against Nancy and her postman, but can't do one for FPUC. Why not? Why not? Mark Meadows earlier today said that he wants it again, and it's consistent because he said it on Sunday. He wants a standalone bill for FPUC. And we've had chatter, and it's only chatter, that there will be a Republican skinny bill that'll provide $300 a week. But that's never going to see light of day. No Democrat ever is going to approve FPUC at $300 a week. It's never going to happen. You can look at me and the guy in the purple shirt and say, hey, do you think the Democrats will ever agree to $300? No way, no how. Maybe they'll agree to $500. Maybe they'll agree to $450. They're never going to go to under $400. They might go to $400. I don't think so. But there's no way in hell they're going to agree to $300 a week. It's just ridiculousness. Now, the issue is why this is becoming so insanely stupid. And yeah, I'm not mincing my words here. It is insanely stupid that Republicans want to miserly ration off unemployment benefits, claiming they don't want to give it at first, then they want to give it at $200, then they want to give it at $300. It's insanely, outrageously stupid. It's not supported by economics. It's not supported by any data. The contention is that people don't want to get back to work and they want to stay at home and they want to get rich off of money. Well, it doesn't make sense because no one's staying home and getting rich off of $600 a week. You know why? Because unemployment offices, if they get indication that the employee has a job to go back to and doesn't take the job, cuts off unemployments. The argument makes no sense on its own basis that people have a job, are staying at home and collecting unemployment benefits from an office that doesn't pay unemployment benefits when you have a job and you decline the resume of employment. It's also untrue that people have made more money for unemployment benefits than when they were employed across the average number. Yes, there are some people who at $600 a week make more money than when they were employed. But when looking at average data across all people that are employed, it's simply not true. Escalated benefits. I've promised this so many times this week and I forget to continually record it. So I'm going to go over escalated benefits, which ironically, it defeats all the arguments of the Republicans, and yet it also gives you incredible relief. What are escalated benefits? Escalated benefits mean that if you made over $30,000 2019 earnings, you're allowed to ask your state for more unemployment benefits. How does this work? What is it calculated? What is it? So states start you at the base level benefit. In California, it's like $167 per week. If you get that, and then you say, wait a second, I made over $30,000 a week last year. I'm qualified for more than $167 a week. How do you do it? And how much would it be? Every state has a maximum payout benefit and a minimum payout benefit. They start you at minimum, and they'd love to have you stay there at minimum. They want to kick you down to minimum. They don't want to do escalated benefits. They're cheap. So they don't want to give you escalated benefits, but it's simple math. If you have a 2019 tax return that shows over $30,000, how much do you get? You get maximum benefits generally, and that's somewhere between $300 to $400. Yes, a week compared to $167. That's why they don't want to give it, because it's a lot of money. Imagine you're getting $300 to $400 a week times 4 weeks in the month. That's like $1,200 compared to like $500. Yeah, it makes a huge difference when you do the math. How do you do escalated benefits? Well, you have to contact your state and say, hey, I qualify. I made more than $30,000 a year. Please look at my file. I think I qualify for escalated benefits. Please apply them accordingly. And the way you generally do is by communications in the portal in which you communicate with your state. If they don't have a place to upload a letter, you can't write a letter on your computer and convert it to PDF, and you can't upload it. They have no upload page. You may have to just express mail it to them. Ultimately, enhanced benefits, escalated benefits, is a lot of money. Because if you do the math and you're on unemployment benefits for, let's say, 10 weeks, 20 weeks, let's say 20 weeks. Imagine getting $200 more for 20 weeks. How much money is it? Lord, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And so that's why early on when this channel launched, we're coming up on 200,000 subscribers today. Oh my goodness. When we first launched, one of the first videos of this channel was getting on PUA and FPUC and UI. I said, get on it if you qualify, because a lot of money, you're going to need the money. Don't hold out for the stimulus checks. Don't hold out for EIDL. They could be delayed. Get on these other things. And viewers got a lot of money that were eligible for a lot of money. For now, these are the states that are doing it: Arizona, Colorado, Idaho, Iowa, Louisiana, Missouri, Montana, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Utah for the $300 LWA. But please go to the front of this channel, hit that subscribe and alert button, because a new state may be approved by FEMA literally after I record this video, and I want to update you. I will update you by sending alerts through the channel. And coming up next is rent assistance. Boy, it's a lot of day with a lot of great news and a lot of confusing news. I'm here to help you, keep you motivated, keep you inspired, keep you informed, and staying with LALATE.